Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Barmy Army TV. Sorry it's been a while, but we had so many good responses to the first episode, well we thought we'd do another one. Quite a lot's happened actually, Chris, hasn't it?
Some good, some bad.
Yeah, definitely. The hearts are in mouths. Well, they were until they managed to beat India on Sunday, but didn't they? But it's been a really good start to the World Cup. It's not even the knockout stages yet, and it just seems like it's been going on forever, hasn't it? But in a good way, hasn't it?
Absolutely. I think people tend to worry too soon in this country. I think it's a long tournament, the Cricket World Cup, and it's over a lot of games you play everyone once. And I think the England team will hopefully peak at the right time. On Sunday, that was a real good line in the sand as to where the team is, bouncing back, people performing that haven't performed, like Johnny scoring 100, which we'll talk about later on. And just seeing the team as a collective really understanding how to play in pressure situations and how to get a win. But at the Barmy Army, we always believe in the team, and we never for 1 minute thought that we wouldn't make it through the knockouts. But there's still one game to play in the knockout stages, but I'm very confident we'll be in a semi-final. There
is, at time of recording this, it is, still sort of very much hanging in the balance of whether England are going to make that final four or not. But the support has been brilliant, hasn't it? You've been to quite a few World Cup games, mate, and it's been, brilliant wherever you've gone. And I want to hear about some of the experiences you've had as we sort of go through the programme. Just looking at the game against New Zealand on Wednesday, though, that's going to be absolutely bouncing off the walls, isn't it, from everybody? Yeah,
I think we're obviously very excited for the game on Wednesday, but it's not they're not an easy place to go, Durham, and New Zealand are a very good side. They've shown, they've beaten some good teams, they've played very well, and they'll be one of the toughest games that we've had. I think Australia was a tough game, India, but New Zealand can't be written off, and we've got to go there and do a job. But every faith in the team. If you look at the batting lineup with Johnny and J. Roy start the fun, quite literally, and they go at it, and the Indians were on the back foot straight away. And wasn't it lovely to see Virat Kohli whinging about a short boundary?
Oh, no. Fantastic.
Talk about sore losers.
Anytime we see Virat Kohli having a little whinge and a moan. And he does. And he seems to antagonise some of the players and stuff as well. But that crowd, by the way, completely outnumbered, wasn't it, in the crowd? I know you've got a few thoughts on that. Was that strange, sort of being at Edgbaston and being in a complete minority to the Indian support?
Yeah, it's very sad really, but it's the truth of the game and how it's maybe run at the top level, that we didn't really get access to those tickets from the early stages because we didn't buy travel packages, which is the way that they chose to operate the system. But I think there'll definitely be some learning curves for both the Barmy Army and the ICC going forward. We'll hopefully get many more tickets at the T20 World Cup in Australia when we go there to support the team. But it was a shame we didn't have many there, but we did our best to be heard. But how can you? There's 90% of the ground was Indian fans, so my feelings are represented on Twitter.
They are indeed, yeah. You go and have a look at that if you so wish to see Chris's views on that. I'm pretty sure that you probably know what they are already. And despite that, though, we'll be talking about the Barmy Army a little bit later on, and the game that was had down there between Barmy Army and Barmy Army. Good people, though, aren't they? It's not their fault that they've been allocated so many tickets, but good fun in the stands, all good-natured and good banter.
Absolutely. I don't for 1 minute want this to sound like a bitter rant from the Barmy Army.
It's not.
We've got our tickets. We're very grateful to the ICC for the tickets we've got, and we will go and we will do our best for the boys, and we'll always be positive because that's the nature of what we do. And the Barmy Army boys are a great bunch, and we get on with them really well. And we'll show you later on about playing them in the games and having a little sing-off with them.
Perfect. A lot of people who've been to the games will have heard a song being played out. And if you're not listening too closely, you might think it's like the football version of a particular song. I want to know what it's all about, because it is a Barmy Army idea, your kind of idea, and you sort of set the ball rolling. So what's it all about? 3 Lions and a Crown is the name of this song. And I've heard it at all the grounds, and I've seen it on the social media and people talking about it. It's really good. So I want to hear how it all came about, mate.
Yeah, so back when we were looking for a World Cup anthem, we had a few ideas scribbled down, and we had one called Australian Lies for American Pie, which sadly was rejected by Don McLean when we proposed that we were going to use that.
I wonder why that was.
3 Lions and a Crown came about, written by Quentin Hughes. Really good. And Rod Bransgrove's band, who's the chairman at Hampshire. We've got a really good relationship with Rod and the team at Hampshire. He's a cracking bloke, proper Barmy Army man through and through. Just happens that he owns Hampshire Cricket Club as well, and is a very successful businessman. Brilliant for us, really on side, and he's got a band as well. So it was a perfect fit that Rod and his band Strapped for Cash, no pun intended, I'm guessing, has put the song together for us. It's 3 lines in a crown, and there's some really good words in there, but I think we should shut up and listen to it.
Yeah, let's have a listen.
Don't stop believing. Now Johnny and J. Roy start the fun with route and just to come. Boundaries flow, watch and go. And then they're followed by Stokes, Woody, Willie and Woast, Rush and Plunkett and Moe. And they're all singing 3 lines and a crown. Captain Morgan's England never will lay down.
Don't
Stop believing. It's coming home. It's coming home. I'll stop.
Not very good for radio, mate.
It's not, is it? It's not great. It's coming home. Well,
Let's hope so.
yeah, I really hope it is. You've got a lookalike, Nelly Southgate. He's been to quite a few games, hasn't he?
Yeah, Southgate is a very passionate Barmy Army member, passionate sports fan. He travels all around the world, works for BA. He's a really impressive character, really, but he's been a long-standing member of the Barmy Army, and he is on our tour at the minute. He's going around the World Cup, dressed up as Gareth Southgate. He's the famous lookalike for those of you that watched the football and saw him in Russia in the stands. People genuinely thought Southgate was in the stands, maybe being sent off or something, but he's travelling around with us, starting the songs.
Is he a cricket original, or did he start with the football? Because let's be honest, it's a pretty bad lookalike, isn't it? Gareth Southgate until a few years ago, and then he became the England manager, and now obviously he's a proper lookalike.
Yeah, back in the early 2000s when Southgate was enemy number 1, he was also lookalike. Yes, but now he now sees the light shining from what once was a pretty bad nickname. Now he's probably got an agent.
Yeah, it's brilliant, isn't it? It's really good. I'll tell you what, let's hear from him, because when you were down at Lord's, he was getting, people were approaching him, weren't they? And
yeah,
you know,
it's crazy, absolutely crazy, because you think of all the celebrities, yeah, they will get mobbed, but even a Southgate lookalike got a lot of attention, a lot of people coming for pictures, signing little autograph at bats.
It's fantastic, isn't it? Isn't it brilliant? Let's have a look and let's have a chat to him.
Please. You were lady top.
Hello, a lady next after this.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, we're inside as well. Hey, man. Thank you.
He's going to go Ben. He's going to go Ben.
Ready, 3, 2, 1. I don't know.
Who's going to win today?
England, 100%.
Good answer.
Thank you for everything.
Okay, I've just been standing outside of the media centre. There's a lift which takes the journalists, commentators up to the media box, and NASA was mobbed. I think Sachin Tendulkar had about 5 or 6 security guards. But I think Neil, Barmy Army's very own Neil, aka Gareth Southgate, you got the special treatment, didn't you? That was mental.
Where was my protection there? I mean, it was unruly, but you know, they were.
I was on my way.
I mean, I had to autograph a few bats, but you know, they were very grateful. The Indian fans, you know, they obviously respect Southgate over there. So.
Do you think some people actually do genuinely think you're Gareth Southgate?
I think a few did. Yeah, it happened last year in Russia actually, and that's when I got the interviews with Venezuela and Ecuadorian TV. They actually wanted my tactics.
Yeah. And just talk to us about what you were doing on the outfield at the lunch interval with another Barmy Army member.
Mr. Kemp here, Stu was doing the filming. We had a bit of a challenge against the Aussies. Stu had a furry helmet on, so to speak, and I was hitting balls onto his helmet. and the Aussies got 11 balls and we got 10, unfortunately. It wasn't Stu's fault. I was a bit wide with 1 or 2, not enough practice, didn't warm up enough, and a couple too many beers earlier today. Sorry. Let the side down.
It's the World Cup of Lords. But look, people see you, Gareth Southgate, but you're a massive England cricket fan. You've been following England for many, many years, home and away.
Yes.
What's this World Cup been like for you in terms of the atmosphere, the hype, the England fans getting behind the boys. What's it been like for you?
Well, you know, the Barmy Army always love the test matches. Test is best, we say. But we're passionate about these boys because they've taken 4 years to become the favourites, you know, top in the world. All right, they've had a couple of hiccups, but it's great that we can still get a few of us here together in Lords. And I tell you what, even Billy the Trumpet's been let in, which is so history is being made. So Billy's been playing a few tunes. We've been getting a few songs going, and hey, Lords should watch out. They should let us in a bit more often.
Where we come from, shall we tell them who we are? Who we are? Where we come from, we are the England. We are the England. The mighty, mighty England. The mighty, mighty England. We are the army. We are the army. The Barmy, Barmy Army. The Barmy, Barmy Army. Morgans.
Billy and Paul at Lords, and Billy, it's a special day, not just because it's the World Cup and we're at Lords, it's Australia, but we're at Lords and you've got your trumpet, which you're normally not allowed to have at Lords. Tell us why today you can have it.
Yeah, so normally I do love coming to Lords to watch cricket, but they don't allow me to bring the trumpet. They have very strict rules at Lords, no fancy dress, no musical instruments, and they don't see fit to ever grant me an exemption to that. So, you know, if I come here as a normal fan and enjoy myself. But today it's ICC rules, not Lords rules, so they've invited me to come and play, and we've been having a good sing-song during England's bowling, and yeah.
Not the batting though, right?
No, I can play when we're batting, but I don't want to put us off yet, and unfortunately it's not going particularly well at the moment. We've just lost our 4th wicket. I'm really concerned. You know, as a Barmy Army, you know, stalwart, we spend a lot of our time losing to Australia, but luckily over the last 15 years, not a lot of time losing to England at home. I really don't want to lose this game. We're in trouble now. I'm getting quite concerned.
Today, loads of Aussie fans created a good atmosphere. We've had Pakistan, Sri Lanka, Bangladesh. Fans have been loud, created a real carnival atmosphere. How have you found it yourself?
Well, there's more Aussie fans here than there normally are in Australia, so it's it's great. Listen, it's great. The camaraderie between the two countries, obviously, is always there. It's the big one for us, isn't it? But it's been good fun. It's been good fun.
Yeah. And how was it for you as a Barmy Army member, going different places around the world to watch England? How does the atmosphere in different places vary?
Australia's a big one for us. The atmosphere there is always a few thousand of us, and obviously massive stadiums in Australia. And the Barmy Army get together as a group, and we outsing the Aussies every time. That's good fun. Similar in South Africa. South African fans are pretty untuneful, a bit like the Aussies, and long may that continue. But no, wherever you go away, watching Test cricket, obviously we're here today for the World Cup, which is great, but Test cricket away, there's nothing quite like it. Everyone gets together, and you know, our support is always unconditional. So whatever happens, if we win, boy, you know we've won, but equally if we lose, everyone goes around singing the song, shaking hands. That's what it's all about, it's cricket.
And is there an extra buzz at the moment because it's the World Cup, because there's an Ashes? Does this summer just feel different compared to any other summer we've had before?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they go back to 75, was the last time there was a World Cup and an Ashes in the same year. So, yes, it's a massive year for English cricket. You know, the World Cup, we're favourites, but it is a bit of a lottery, as we know. It's all about on the day, semi-finals and final if we get there. Getting a little bit worried at the moment with the state of the game today. But the Ashes is a big one for us. Yeah. You know, we're at home. We've won the last 4 Ashes series at home. That home advantage hopefully will make a big difference and roll on Edgbaston. We can't wait for day one there.
So there we heard from Billy, the trumpet player, and Paul Burnham, co-founder of the Barmy Army. Greggy, what a great occasion to have Billy at Lords.
Amazing. I want to know how you, because I've known for years that he's never been really allowed in to Lords because it's usually the MCC, isn't it? Yep. And they obviously make all the rules, and they've prevented him from turning up with his instrument. They don't like the racket that he creates. However, I want to know how you've managed it during the World Cup.
So, thanks to the ICC, Billy's actually been allowed to play in 2 grounds he's never had access. For the 20 years he's been with us, he's never had access to play it before, and that's Trent Bridge and Lords, which is amazing to think that Bill has been allowed to play in this incredible tournament because otherwise he's restricted for test matches by the MCC and by the Nottinghamshire Cricket Board. So sadly, He won't be at the Test matches. He won't be at Lords for the Ashes Test match. But we think it's a step in the right direction and a positive step for Bill. I know Bill and the rest of the members were overjoyed at the news that Bill would be in the ground playing.
That's good, because the MCC members, they must be thinking, yeah, it does actually add a bit of atmosphere and it does add a bit of something, doesn't it? I mean, I've been on tour with the Barmy Army and I've been in the grounds and sat right in front of him, and it's brilliant. It does add a different dimension to it. It gives it a different feel, doesn't it?
I think when you go and actually listen to him, you spend time with him, you see how talented he is, and he's not just some guy rocked up with a trumpet who thinks he can half play. He probably is one of the best trumpet players in the country, and I'm not the first person or the last person that will say that, but he's the way he can listen to a song and then play it straight away. It's incredible, absolutely incredible.
So he was at Lords. Unfortunately, that was where England suffered a defeat to those Australians, but it doesn't matter. We're just letting them have one in the bag before the Ashes, aren't we?
Beat them in the final.
Absolutely.
Happy days.
Exactly. That'll be fine, won't it? That'll do us.
Wouldn't it be great to just stuff Warner and Smith? I know we've had a lot of conversations about whether or not to boo Warner and Smith, and a lot of conversations about how you deal with it. And we think, yeah, we're a bit classier than booing, but by God, I want to get her.
Yeah, you do. And the sad thing is that they've both been in imperious form, which
I was saying I was very passionate about. No, can't boo them. It's not cricket. It's not this. It's not that. And when I got there at Lords, I was like, I was keeping my mouth shut. I just got, when he came out, I was just angry. I was like, cheats, come on, sandpaper.
There was quite a lot of references. I noticed there was a lot of people dressed up sort of with you guys and, at Lords, and there was the people sort of in the stand dressed as, certain stuff. Billy the trumpeter, he had a couple of songs as well, didn't he, sort of for them as well?
Yes, Billy, there's quite a few traditions within the Barmy Army for those that aren't lucky enough to have been there. Surrounding him at a game, there is actually halfway there, which I'm sure you will hear now at some point. So halfway there, he plays when they're either 5 wickets down or we're halfway to the total. So we heard that at Lords, a very good rendition of it. I told you he was very talented. Now you believe in me because you're hearing it.
Yeah.
And obviously, he was at Lords. So what did he play?
I don't know.
Have a guess.
I have got no idea. Enlighten me.
I Should Be So Lucky.
Oh,
which
good.
I'm hoping you can hear now, which is a very good version. Again, I think there's a few guys that didn't really know what it was early doors, so and then you'll see him perking, I should be so lucky.
Good. It's a good nod. It's a good nod towards all things kind of Australian.
It's a good step in the right direction, that.
It is good. Big fan of that. Afterwards, Johnny Bairstow. We've got to talk about Johnny. Big friend of the Barmy Army, loves the Barmy Army, in fact.
Legend.
We've heard some good stories. Is that, in fact,
This is JB.
Is that his helmet? Fantastic.
Absolutely stinks.
Does it? I'm not going to, I'll take your word for it, actually.
You can tell he's ginger because it's really bright in it.
Is it? In fact, we didn't need studio lights, actually. We just sort of shine that, yeah. Johnny, he's a friend of the Barmy Army. We heard on the Shackles Are Off podcast, actually, when we spoke to Joe Root, that he's always looking at the crowd and he wants to be involved in all the singing and all that kind of thing. He had a couple of interesting comments to make. What did you think about that? The context of him speaking on, it was on BBC Radio 5 Live, being interviewed the day after the game, so still very, very sore, obviously, having lost to the Australians. Getting a bit of stick as well off the press. What did you think to kind of what he was alluding to, saying that it's a very English thing for people want to see the English teams fail? What did you think as certainly heading up a supporters group?
Yeah. I've been asked about this quite a lot since, but I think it was taken massively out of context by the media. I think Johnny meant it in a way that I completely agree with it.
Completely, yeah.
The English media and the publicity tends to get on the back of England teams, whether they're successful or not. I think we saw something really unique in Russia with the football, where they built a culture where that wasn't possible because everything was so positive. As soon as they see a negative, they latch onto it, and so Johnny, by accident, I think threw a little bit of bait out for them to turn into trying to make it look like it was against the fans, but simply wasn't true. But just on the back of that, I think you saw him performing probably the best he can be. I think Johnny is a perfect example of when it's me against the world, I'm going to be the best. So there's so many sportsmen throughout sport. Brooks Kopak in golf, sport golf, he looks to pick a fight before any major.
Correct,
so that he can win the major probably. And I think Johnny's very much the same.
I think so as well. And also on that, I've got to say that they played a clip to him of Michael Vaughan just before of basically, criticising the England team which was after a loss, is you can kind of understand it, but don't play it to a player whilst he's giving up his time on, the morning after a game on a phone. It was only going to upset him. I quite enjoyed his comment where he said, well, Michael's been part of 2 disastrous World Cup campaigns himself, so he'll know all about that, and then sort of carried on. And I think that it just stirred the whole pot for me. But yeah, Johnny's...
What a way to respond, though, coming out and scoring 100 at Edgbaston in the toughest game of the tournament.
Yeah, when you've got surrounded, like we've talked about, surrounded by Indian supporters. Fair play to Johnny Bairstow. Barmy Army episode 2. Thanks for joining us, by the way. You might also notice, for the eagle-eyed amongst you, that Chris and I are looking really smart. We've got these Luke Sport polo shirts on, which I think look pretty good, actually. It's our official partner this summer. Obviously, big English summer of cricket, the World Cup and the Ashes as well later on. But yeah, the England boys, they absolutely love this gear, and we hope that you do too as well. You can check out luke1977.com for all the latest gear, and you can use our discount code as well. Yeah, very nice. Barmy Army, all capital letters, all one word, and you can get 10% off anything on the website with that. And our first-class Barmy Army members as well, they're entitled to more rewards as well, and the code for that can be found on the membership page at barmyarmy.com. Chris, it's obviously just sort of in the aftermath of that win against India, which was really important in terms of keeping the World Cup hopes and dreams alive. But we talked about the Barmy Army as well. They've been involved with the Barmy Army in not only cricketing matters, but other stuff as well. Yeah,
we have a relationship with Rax and the Barmy Army team going back into 1999 when Paul Burnham actually helped set up the Barmy Army, back when they were first finding their feet. So, yeah, we are a little bit responsible as well, but we, later on in the years, they've got massive numbers now, just like ourselves, not quite as big, but they actually challenged us to a sing-off down at Tower Bridge in London, and we took a little team down there and had a little sing-off against them. Check it out.
The players are getting ready for the big event, so are the fans, upping their cheering game. To my right, the Barmy Army. To my left, the Bharat Army. They're ready for the big chant-off.
Justin, what are we doing down here today at Tower Bridge?
Just a little chant-off between 2 of my favourite fan groups in the world. Don't ask me which one is the favourite most, but Barmy Army, Bharat Army, good fun.
Some good noise there from the Barrett boys?
Always, right? Actually, surprisingly, I think it was the weather. They weren't at their very best. Neither was the Barmy Army. I'm guessing not too many drinks went down before it started, did it?
Saving our best, I think, for the England-India game at Edgbaston. Are you looking forward to that one?
Absolutely. I think might just get a repeat on the 14th as well. If analytics are anything to go by, current form or anything to go by. India-England final, anyone?
Fingers crossed. You never know. I think it would be a sellout crowd, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean that's what I really like about an India-England game, right? Because there are a good set of fans, there is measured approach in the stands, and 2 teams which I think right now are the best in ODI cricket. So can't really ask for anything better.
We are the army, the Barmy Army, and we are men.
Right.
We definitely won the sing-off.
Yeah, okay, nice. Well, then after that, there was a cricket match as well taking place. Is it the 3rd or 4th year, something like that, it's been going?
Yeah, we've been running the Edgbaston's Fans Trophy now for, I think it's the 4th year. Always a great event. The ECB help us run it, and Tom Rawlins at Edgbaston helps facilitate the day. It was at Tally Ho, great venue of ours, our best HQ in the country. And let's see how we got on. It was a good day out, but check it out, see what you think.
This evening we've got 2 sets of cricket fans, the Bharat Army and the Barmy Army. They've come together ahead of the big game on Sunday for a friendly cricket match this evening where we're having a T20 game just to see who comes out top from a fan perspective.
It's all about the spirit and it's all about the fun. Obviously though, we'd like to win. We'd obviously like to set the tone for England. Big game for England on Sunday, so we can just get one up against India before Sunday's big game. We'd love to be able to do that.
2, 3, They are fun games. There's nothing riding on it except a bit of pride. And as such, yeah, fun. There's some seriousness there as well because they're two competitive sides and they both want to win. But it's good. It's good to see them both playing in good spirit.
It's great that we've got a good relationship with the Barrett boys, a bit of a friendly rivalry you might say. We'll be trying to outsing each other on Sunday, but it's all very good natured in the spirit of cricket, and we're going to have a good time.
It's lovely, just to seeing them enjoy themselves in a good game of cricket.
It's all about the fun of it, and the result at the end of the day is not that important, but we wouldn't mind winning.
Barmy Army! Barmy Army! Barmy Army! Barmy Army!
Well, that's all good and well, but who won? I can't tell. The look on your face says it all, mate. So, as we're seeing now, we're seeing them lifting the trophy. In what kind of circumstances did they win then? Was it an easy victory for the Barmy Army lads, or?
As ever, the Barmy Army setting over 220 overs. It's become a regular occurrence, really, with the strong team that the Barmy Army Cricket Club now has. We set 210 in our allocated overs, and I think we bowled Barrett out for about 6 or 7. I'm not sure of the exact figures, but no, I'm just joking. I'm not sure of the exact figures, but we bowled them out and we had a great day.
For a split second, I did believe you. I was like, what? Really? Who did you have playing for you?
We do. The Barmy Army Cricket Club, for those of you that are interested in still playing or that you're around the country and play cricket, please send us an email, become a member of the Barmy Army, and just let us know you're willing to play. We want to have as many games as we can. We've actually got a game on the 17th of July against Jason Gillespie's Academy at Windsor Castle, which will be an absolutely fantastic day out, and I'm sure will be a challenge. Jason Gillespie's Academy, he's a very good player from back in the day, and I'm sure his team will be as well.
So let's talk a little bit about the India game then. That was a seriously big victory, wasn't it? Good fun as well at the game, I'm guessing.
Great fun. I think we were surrounded by Indians, as we've spoken about, but what a great win. We were over the moon. We were a little bit up on spirits and up on the ale as well, so I think the atmosphere was great around where we were. I think one of my favourite new songs has to be the Mark Wood song.
Right, okay.
Shake It Up Woody now.
Okay, let's have a listen to all the Barmy Army singing that one at the India game at Edgbaston.
When we see you running in, you know you look so good. You know you look so good. You're England's fastest bowler now. Fastest bowler. You won't forget Parkwood.
Good to hear from the Indian fans there at Edgbaston. Really magnanimous in defeat. You know, really gracious people, aren't they?
Absolutely. I think they were almost relaxed because they knew that they were pretty sure to go through. I think it was a massive game for us, bigger game for us than it was them. I was really interested in seeing MS Dhoni back at the end, though. I don't like seeing that.
No, strange, wasn't it?
A batsman of his quality, everyone knows in the ground that he could have potentially chased that down, but for him to not go for it, poor sportsmanship from my side.
I thought so, definitely. But I think also they know that they're through, and they're probably just thinking about the semi and the final and stuff now, aren't
Must be a nice feeling.
It must be. I can't imagine what it's like as an England fan.
Planning the travel for the semi-final.
There's an England fan. I know, exactly.
And the only semi-final we do get to, when it's in the football, it's in Russia.
Yeah, I know. You can't really plan much for that either, can you? Let's talk about the Ashes anthem thing, because that's something that will be going on over the next few weeks throughout the summer. What kind of thing is that? Talk to me about it.
So we're running a competition with the Barmy Army to see who can come up with the best new song for the Ashes. Obviously, we've got a massive game, five tests coming up against them, so we want as many songs as we can, and we like to hear from the members. We want to get as many entries from the members as possible. We want to hear new songs, we want to see new faces. There's a lot of people in the Barmy Army. We want to keep seeing new faces that want to come and stand with us and be at the front of the house. Let's have some entries. It's hashtag Ashes Anthem on Twitter. Tag the Barmy Army in it, and you could be in for a chance to win some fantastic prizes.
We've also we've got an entry already from a man who we've just seen a song about. He's got a song about one of his teammates.
Ooh, Liam Plunkett. Ooh, 6 or 4. Ooh, Liam Plunkett. He just keeps on getting poles. Ooh, Liam Plunkett. Ooh, 6 or 4. Ooh, Liam Plunkett. He just keeps on getting poles.
Not sure Plunkett's got much of a shout for the Ashes, though, unfortunately, Greggy.
No, I don't think so either. Thanks, though, Mark Wood, for sending that in. If you do want to send it in, it's info@barmyarmy.com or
hashtag Ashes Anthem on Twitter. Tag the Barmy Army in it and we'll be sure to get back to you. But come on, get involved. We want to see more faces in the Barmy Army, more people, so join in.
Talking of the Ashes, Chris, Women's Ashes, that's happening right now as we speak and we record this. What's the Barmy Army got to do with that?
We love supporting the women, supporting all the England teams as much as we can. So be sure to follow us on social media. We'll be giving them a shout out when they hopefully take the urn home.
What's this? A bit of information that we've been getting. Apparently, it's coming home.
Come on, England.